What's going on, guys? Bo here, and today we're going to see how we can automate our collection of feedback and testimonials from our clients. We are going to be doing this by using ClickUp as our CRM and Make.com as our automation app, and that is it. You can use the Make.com free version, but disclaimer, you are going to be needing a paid version for ClickUp because we are going to use some automations within that certain app. Now, by implementing these automations into your business, you are going to have a very easy time collecting testimonials and feedback from your clients that you can then use to repurpose into content, therefore we get more clients, or you can just get that feedback and iterate your services so that it can be more valuable in the future. The system behind this testimonial and review system is pretty basic. So basically we have a table where we keep track of all of our clients, past and present, which is going to be the ClickUp CRM that we are going to be using. And upon delivery of the service, we automatically send a feedback form where we ask him how was the communication and collaboration and how satisfied was he with the whole process from 1 to 5-star rating. This is going to be when we are going to transfer our client from active or from active basically to offboarding. So we have delivered our services, it's good, we are offboarding that specific client, and then we are going to automatically send that feedback form. After 30 days after we have offboarded our client, we are going to send basically a checkup survey and review where we are going to ask him questions like what difference did you experience since using the service provided, how big was the ROI, would you recommend our services, and of course another survey where we can gain feedback from our clients in order to iterate and make our product better. Basically this whole system is then going to get us a mini testimonial about the collaboration throughout the building phase, 3 mini testimonials about the service provided, and an important feedback on the service that can lead to future improvements. Having a lot of reviews, a lot of testimonials, a lot of feedback can ultimately, of course, drive your product to be better. And you can use those testimonials as content material for your social media to gain trust with future clients. Now, let's start by seeing how we can set up our CRM systems for these automations. Now, you can see that I am in ClickUp right now and I have this space called CRM. Inside this CRM, I'm going to be having a folder called deals where I have 2 lists. One list is for onboarding and active clients and one is for offboarding clients. So basically, once we have delivered our service to our clients, they are going to be automatically sent to this list, the offboarding list. Now, it's important to have 2 lists for this, so you don't have all of them in one place, like onboarding, active, offboarding, and inactive, because when we are going to send the client from onboarding and active to onboarding, a new automation is going to be triggered. Okay, after these 2 lists, we are going to be having another list called companies. Here we are going to hold all the information about the companies that we are working with. We are going to be having another list called contacts, where, of course, we are going to store information about the contacts and the employees of those companies we are working with, and 2 more lists which are basically our feedback forms. You can create the feedback form, by the way, in ClickUp by clicking this plus button in your space and clicking form, and after that you can edit it pretty easily and automate it using other third-party apps. Okay, getting back to our onboarding and active list, this is how it is laid out. First of all, each task is going to be structured like this. On the name side, we are going to be having the name of the company, a dash, and then the services that we are providing to that specific company. After that, we are going to be having a comments column, then a status column, which is really important. Here we are going to be having onboarding, active, offboarding, and inactive. A deal stage, which is going to be planning service, building the service, and the service delivered. We are going to be having another column called due date, which is going to be resetting every week, which is basically showing us when we are having that recurring meeting with that particular client. After that, we have the services column where we have all of these options with the services that we provide. We have another one called health, which is pretty cool because here we have 3 colors. We have green, yellow, and red, which symbolize basically the efficiency and how pleased is our client with our communication and our responsiveness and our feedback and our services in general, right? So here you can keep track of your relationship with that particular client. We're gonna have the objective column where we set the certain main objective that we have with the client. The billing, which can be monthly, yearly, whatever you offer. We are going to be having 3 more columns that are going to be the start date, the end date, and the length between the start date and the end date. Now, the length is going to be important because that is going to be one of the triggers for our second feedback form. Now, when we are sending that client to offboarding, the start date is going to reset to that specific date, and the end date is going to reset after 1 month. So basically, let's say we are offboarding client today, which is 13th of December. Then the start date is going to be 13th of December, and the end date is going to be 13th of January. So 1 month, 1 month in advance. Why is that? Because we have thought about sending the second feedback and the survey document 1 month after we have delivered those services to see if they are pleased with our services or not. We also have stored the client email, the companies, and the contacts, which are going to be some special columns that we can attach to each of our tasks so that we can have those companies' information and the contacts that we can call whenever we have any issues with those clients. Okay, here you can see that we have 2 automations for this particular list. One is when the status, which is this status from onboarding active, offboarding, and inactive, changes from any of them to offboarding. We are then going to be sending them, that specific client, to the offboarding list. This is one of the automations. And the second automation is going to be whenever the status changes from onboarding to active. As I said, we are going to be resetting that start date. Okay, so this is the first list. This is going to be the onboarding and active list. And as you can see, if we, let's say, have Mick and Rory, we are then going to select the offboarding option. It is then going to be transferred to the offboarding list, as you can see. And here we have another automation, which is in case you wrongfully click offboarding. It's basically the same automation as the last one, but it's in reverse. So whenever the status goes from offboarding to any of the other, like onboarding or active, it is then going to send that a particular client back to onboarding and active list. This is in case you have made an error or something that you didn't want to do, right? And these are going to be our deals lists. Then we have the companies and contacts list that are not really important. Maybe if you're trying to build a good CRM and an efficient one, yes, you're going to be needing these. But what is most important for this particular video and automations are going to be these forms, which are pretty much our basic forms. One is going to be the initial form that we are going to send when we are offboarding the client. And the second one is going to be the 1 month checkup form, which we are going to send 30 days after we have offboarded our client. Now let's jump into Make.com and see how we can build those automations from scratch. Okay, we are going to build 2 little automations within Make.com. I suggest you create a new folder and you name it, for example, testimonial collection, and then create your automations within that folder so that you have everything organized within your space. Okay, this is going to be the first automation that we are going to build. Is going to be the sending of the first testimonial on the project. It is going to be an instantly triggered automation. And we are going to begin by choosing a ClickUp Watch Tasks module. You are going to create a new hook here. You are going to click this add button. You are going to then, very importantly, select here task moved. Why is that? Because this is going to be triggered whenever, just as I said, whenever one of our clients is changing statuses from active to offboarding and is moved to that offboarding list, then this automation is going to be triggered. Okay, after you have built that, this is how the module is going to look like. It's just going to show you some address. You are not going to need this for now. Okay, after that, we are going to get a task from our ClickUp. After that, we're going to get a task from our ClickUp CRM. Here you are going to get the get. Here you're going to select the get a task module from ClickUp. You're going to select map and you are going to select the task ID, which you are going to get from the watch task. After you've run it once, you have moved one of your clients, you are going to get that information and you are going to extract it and put it here, the task ID. We are going to be needing this task ID because we have to get all of the information about the tasks, especially the email that we have into our CRM. If you look closer here, let's go back to our ClickUp CRM. We have the client email. We are going to be using this to send him that customizable feedback via email. Basically, you are going to be sending him to the client email that you have tracked from Get a Task module in ClickUp. And this is going to be the subject, feedback on the collaboration, or whatever you want. I usually like to write my emails in HTML because you can make them a bit prettier than just, I don't know, sending him a basic text email, where you are going to then input your feedback link from your form, which you are going to be getting like this. You're going to create your form. You are going to have here copy link, right? You're going to publish your form, and you can get your link from here, and you are going to insert it into this email. Let me show you how this email actually is going to look like. Okay, so here is a test that I've run a few days ago, and it basically looks like this. It's just a simple box with we value your feedback. Thank you for collaborating with us. And here you have a button, which if he clicks, is going to be then redirected to your form. He completes it. And a very big plus is that you are going to be having all of that information that he provided back stored into your ClickUp CRM, which is good because you don't have to build another automation to store that information from the form, right? Okay, so after we send that email, we are going to have another module, another ClickUp module, which is edit a task with custom fields. Basically, we are going to be resetting the end date timer to 1 month. Just as I said, you are going to be clicking edit a task with custom fields. You are going to select your list. You are going to map again the task ID from the previous module that we have run. And here at end date, you are going to use this really basic formula, add months from now, which is when we ran this automation, basically when we have started that offboarding process, and you add 1. So basically end date is going to be, from our example, if today we are offboarding our client, it's 13th of December, the end date is going to be 13th of January. And that is basically all that we have to select here. Of course, at the start date, we are going to be choosing now. And this is the first automation. Again, really simple, but if we integrate these Made.com automations with the automations within ClickUp, it is going to be really congruent. The second automation is even more simple. It's basically only 2 modules. It's first of all a list all tasks module. You are going to be listing all of the tasks from your offboarding list here. And then we are going to be having a filter when a month has passed. You are going to be calculating this by, again, choosing the length custom field that we have in our ClickUp. So basically this field that calculates, let me get back here. That calculates the number of days between the start date and the end date. Whenever this number goes to 0, so basically we have reached our end date, the automation is going to be triggered. Now, when length is equal to 0, we are going to be running this module, which is again a simple send an email module. We are going to be getting the client email from the first module, and a subject, again an HTML that you can just prompt ChatGPT and say, I need an HTML to send a feedback review report to my client via email, and he's going to give you a very simple HTML with instructions on where to implement your URL, your feedback URL within it. Okay, and after that, we are then going to click OK. You are going to set this specific automation to run daily at whatever hour you want, because we want this to check daily. Okay, it is going to cost you 1 operation basically per day, which is it's really nothing if you think about it. On a free plan, you have 1,000 operations, so it is going to consume you 1 operation, and whenever that length is going to 0, so when we reach that end date, is going to send him the second feedback form. As for the answers of the feedback, just as I said, you can find them by going onto these lists, the feedback list, and you are going to go here in this particular page, the list page, and you can see that you have form submission whenever it was submitted, with all of the questions and the reviews and everything. It is going to be all stored here. Okay, let's run it once and give you an example of how it would look like, right? Okay, so we're gonna turn on this automation. We are going to be deleting the old data. We just want the new data that is going to be coming now. So this automation is running and is waiting for a response. We have the onboarding in active list. We are going to change the status for microlearn from active to offboarding. It is then going to be sent to offboarding, as you can see, and we should receive a new email that with a new feedback right here. We value your feedback. You open this. We are going to quickly complete it. 4 stars. Yes. Actually, no. Let's say we have no suggestions. I was kind of satisfied. More communication. Okay. Would you like a 10% discount? You can say yes here. Of course, you can add some other automations, like if he wants 10% discount, you can update a specific status into your client for future purchases or future collaborations with him. This can be another automation idea that you can stretch further. We say yes, and we are going to be entering our company's name again. We are going to be doing this because we want to, this way is going to be easier for you to change the status of that specific discount, right? It's going to be micro learn, and we are going to be clicking submit. We have submitted the form. You can see that the form has been submitted. Right here, if you go to list, there were previously 3 submissions and we have the new submission right here. Okay, and now let's test the second automation, which is going to, as you can see, the start date is today and the end date is 13th of January. So the length is 31 days. If we put the start date equal to the end date, so let's choose the 13th of January. So basically the length is equal to 0, right? And let's run this automation and let's see if it works. If we run it, yes, it has passed the filter and we are going to get another email. Let's see, yeah, it's been a month with us. Let's make the next ones even better. We have the second feedback, which is going to look like this. We're going to submit it and then the answers are going to be stored again into our ClickUp. This was it. It was pretty simple. It's very efficient. Again, it's really cheap because you can use this, because you can build this by using a free make.com account and just by using a paid ClickUp version, which is not that much. And you can do a lot of other automations within your CRM. This is just the testimonials one that can add a lot of value, because testimonials are really gold when you are talking about agencies and companies and when you're talking about building trust within communities on social media. Guys, thank you for watching. This has been another example of how we can use automations within our businesses. If you have any other new ideas that you would want me to build, please comment them. I am going to read all of your comments and I'll see you soon, guys.